Welcome, Facebook fans. I'm Tim Duffy, K3LR. I'm here today with Michael Kalter, WHCI. We're at the DX Engineering showroom inside the Summit Racing Equipment Superstore here in Tallmadge, Ohio today. And this show is all about the 2019 Hamvention Award winners. So Michael will be doing the announcements today of the 4 different awards that are given out every year at Hamvention.
Right. So, Tim, before we get started, first off, thank you for having us here, and thank you for allowing us to use this venue to announce award winners. But I want to send a special hello to all of our volunteers with Hamvention, 700 and some volunteers. I'm just one of many, many volunteers, very fortunate to have this, to come up here and be the spokesperson. But there are so many people that work so hard for Hamvention. So excited to be here, grateful for our team, and grateful for all the people in amateur radio that support Hamvention and are trying to make amateur radio a much better hobby.
You know, that brings up a really great point about these volunteers, Michael. I make it a point every year when I attend Hamvention to go up to the volunteers and thank them personally for everything that they're doing. I know that the Dayton Amateur Radio Association has members all over the country.
All over the world.
In fact, all over the world.
Yeah.
And some of these members, they come to Hamvention not to enjoy Hamvention per se, but they come to volunteer and help out. They'll drive from Florida, from Colorado, to be a proud DARA member and help out in making Hamvention a success. That is a really cool thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. We are very, very grateful for that. I know there's been other people that say, well, how in the world do you get so many volunteers and you don't have to pay them? You know, I think it's just the sheer love of the event and amateur radio. And I will say that Dayton Amateur Radio Association and the people that volunteer understand that we are a pillar of amateur radio, and we're just one pillar that helps hold up amateur radio. We provide a gathering place for many, many people from all over the world, and we want to do the very best we can. So once again, Tim, thanks for mentioning that. Thank a volunteer, because I'm grateful to our whole team.
Well, it is really special, and if you haven't attended Hamvention in the past, this might be the year for you. You know, give it some consideration. You can find out all the information about Hamvention by going to the Hamvention website, hamvention.org, or if you come to the DX Engineering front page on our website at dxengineering.com, there's a link in the lower right-hand area of our website that will take you right to the Dayton Hamvention website. So you can find out more information there, and it's constantly being updated. Your webmaster is busy this time of the year, and so it's important that you go back and check it out. Well, Michael, I think it's time to make some announcements here. I think you have all sorts of nominations that come in from all over the world for these awards. Very prestigious.
Right, it is. And it is something that's going on many years, and I think our newest edition was maybe 7 or 8 years ago. We added Club of the Year. So we're going to introduce, well, first there'll be Special Achievement, then it will be our Technical Achievement Award, then Club of the Year, and then the Amateur of the Year, which is, you know, in our estimation, and we've heard, one of the very highest honors that you can ever receive in the amateur radio community. And we have a small but mighty group that judges from all the applications that we get. And so it's sometimes a very grueling affair, and there's a lot of give or take, and we have to do a lot of research beyond even just the nomination page to make sure that the folks that we are choosing are worthy of it, and that how does that stand up, and how many people have they really affected in the amateur radio world. So with that,
all right, I think it's time to get started. And so let's talk about the 2019 Hamvention Special Achievement Award winner, Michael.
Right, and that goes to Christian, which goes by Chris Jansen, DL1 MGB, And he also has an American call sign, KO2 Whiskey Whiskey. And Christian is been very, very active. He as a contester and working from many countries. I think he's worked at over 20 different countries. That's not why he won the award. Chris was first in 2010. He was elected as a referee for the WRTC in Russia. And you know a little bit about the WRTC.
Yeah, the World Radio Team Championship, and I was there in Moscow when Chris was a referee, and I think he had a little bigger idea in mind during that event.
Right, and one of the things that caught my eye about Christian is that, you know, I had the opportunity to travel around the world to a lot of different events, and Christian was came back from that event and immediately after the WRTC in Boston, and he had a small team of German radio amateurs that got together to evaluate, can we do this in Germany? And so they decided, we're going to do this in Germany. And so Chris was the leader, got paid no money for it, led over 300 volunteers to make this happen. And in our estimation, he really brought the WRTC to the forefront of amateur radio. I mean, he was all over the place, marketing it and trying to communicate to the world of amateur radio what this is about and how effective it would be. And with that, 300 volunteers. I know about working with volunteers, but to just get 300 volunteers to make this happen and follow all the rules and regulations with it, you know, he led that group, and along with his wife, Anja, I hope I said that right, and for 4 years he led this thing. So to me it was really, and to our team, I won't say just me, but to our team, and I hope that the radio community agrees, and I think he will, that Christian is well deserving of a Special Achievement Award for what he pulled off and raising and elevating what the WRTC means.
He did a tremendous job. He did take it to the next level, and he was tireless, 4 years worth of work, and you have one time to do it right. It's a one-time thing, and he did it, and the team that he assembled, other leaders that really pulled through, and but he was the man at the top. He made the tough decisions, and so very happy to hear that your committee has put forth Chris, DL1MGB, for the Special Achievement Award for 2019. So next up,
now let me, before we move off Christian, let's, if you get a chance to contact him and want to congratulate him, please do that. Go to his QRZ page, and his information will be there, and congratulate him. It's a big award.
It is. So now we're going to move on to the 2019 Hamvention Technical Achievement Award, Michael.
Yeah, I think this name will be familiar to everybody. I'll give you his call sign, I2RTF, and that is Petro Bagali. And I'm sure everybody knows about Bagali keys. And the question might be, well, you know, he makes these keys. But to the CW community and to the amateur radio world, they are pieces of art. They're not just a key. They are recognized pieces of art, craftsmanship. And that I think that he has really helped elevate the art of making a key. And because his keys are spoke about with real reverence and awe and magic, and those who own them or swear by them recognize how elegant, I guess that's the right word, very elegant these keys are. And I know people, he's tireless in his support of amateur radio. Yeah, he makes keys, but he does so many other things for amateur radio. And he takes the time, signs his keys. If somebody brings them, he loves to hear questions and answer them. So, yeah, congratulations to
a very passionate,
Mr. Bagali.
Very passionate guy,
yeah,
and certainly a great ambassador for the amateur radio hobby. So now let's go. You know, you only have one kind of group award where it's more than just one person, and so the 2019 Hamvention Club of the Year, Michael.
The Nashua Area Radio Society, and I think that's New Jersey, and they really they fulfill so many of the things that you want to see in a club. They focus on mentoring, which is the theme this year for Hamvention 19, and youth outreach. They have many club members, and it's not the amount of club members you have, but it is how active and what do you do with the club members. And what they have, license class training, lots of youth activities on the air, operating activities. You know, I mean, how many times do we somebody gets a license and they go, what do I do now? I got a license, how do I get on the air? Emergency communication training. That club is very committed to bringing new people, young and old, into amateur radio, and they have license class trainings, and they have emergency communication skills. They do tech nights, but I think some of the most interesting things that they do came in the end of their of the application that we found was great. Was they partnered with 4 local high schools and middle schools to develop and deliver STEM learning programs based upon amateur radio. That is a great concept in the STEM world.
That's great.
And they're a part of the ARIS program, and they have partnered with the Hudson Memorial School, which is a local middle school, to help students contact astronaut Serena Auñón Chancellor on the International Space Station using amateur radio. So this group, congratulations to you and your team. I hope you're watching. When you see it, I hope you let out a big cheer. And so I congratulate the Nashua Area Radio Society.
The Hamvention Club of the Year for 2019.
Right. A very difficult award to get.
It is. There are so many great clubs that are out there. I know there are some 2,500 ARRL affiliated clubs, and then there's clubs even beyond that. So the club, as you know, Michael, and we've said this all along, is the backbone of this hobby.
Yes.
If this hobby is going to sustain itself and grow, it's because of clubs. And so this award is very special because you're giving other clubs something to shoot for. You know, what makes this club special? What makes them good enough to be the Hamvention Club of the Year?
Well, look at all the people they touched in amateur radio, what they do, and that's one of the things that we look at. What's the well-rounded club look like? And of course, our club, Dara, we try hard, and I don't know if we could measure up to a lot of these clubs that we see. But we did start this, like I said, some years ago, the Club of the Year, because that's where real achievement and advancement takes place, is in the clubs.
It is.
Truly.
So the last award is the 2019 Hamvention Amateur of the Year Award.
Right.
Michael?
And that goes to Nathaniel Frisell, Whiskey 2 NAF, Nancy Alpha Foxtrot. Congratulations, Nathaniel. What an amazing, he's a young man. I don't know if he's the youngest to ever win this award. I've not looked it up. But he has done so many things, starting with working as in the National Scout Jamboree staff 3 times. He's an Eagle Scout, member of the Vigil Honor member, and very much remains an active scouter, which is pretty good and amazing, because a lot of scouts, well, I'm moving on now. So he has a PhD, and one of the things that he's very active in is working in, I guess you would say, ionospheric disturbances. And he's done a lot of research there, and a lot of that is primarily associated with the polar vortex activity rather than auroral activity. But let's not get too technical with it, but what has he really done to deserve this, beyond just being a brilliant and very humble young man, is that he is, like I said, a research professor at the New Jersey Institute of Technology for Solar Terrestrial Reach. And what he does, he leads HamSci, which is an effort and works with undergraduate students. Another achievement that he had, Nathaniel led the Solar Eclipse QSO party during the August 21st, 2017 total solar eclipse, which was a contest-like amateur radio science experiment to study eclipse ionospheric effects. He has his results have been peer-reviewed and published in Geophysical Research Letters. He now coordinates the annual HamSci workshop, and where amateurs and professionals meet in person to work on science projects together. He is a co-advisor of the NJIT Amateur Radio Club, K2MFF, a member of the American Radio Relay League, Radio Club of America, and the American Geophysical Union, and holds DXCC. Pretty soon he is going to be having a big event at Case Western. He's pushing the science of amateur radio a lot farther along. But you know what else he does? At Hamvention, they have a group there of, matter of fact, why don't you talk about that? You know it.
So the HamSci group that he is the founder of, Nathaniel has a table there. They have presentations. They welcome students of any age, and and basically just saying, hey, is there a cool experiment that we can go out and do research and include amateur radio in it? So it gives great exposure to the hobby, and he's been a tremendous ambassador. This event at Case Western Reserve up in Cleveland, which will occur in 2 weeks, is going to be outstanding, Michael. And he has invited scientists from all over the country to present papers. And so you're going to hear a lot more about what Nathaniel, W2NAF, is doing. And like many hams of the year, he's just getting started. So look for big things.
You know, he reminds me, some years ago, we had Dr. Joe Taylor won Amateur of the Year. And, you know, he's done an incredible amount of things for amateur radio. And Nathaniel reminds me of a young Dr. Taylor and what he wants to give back and what he is already giving back. He's such a humble young man. You look at his pictures, he looks like he's 19 years old, and he's just so humble. So anyway, congratulations to Nathaniel. And those are our award winners for Hamvention 19. And we hope to see everybody there in Xenia, Ohio this year for Hamvention 19. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Michael, for coming up. And thanks to all of you for watching. 73.
73.